Nick Dunn discovers that the entire media focus has shifted on him when his wife, Amy Dunn, mysteriously disappears on the day of their 5th wedding anniversary. We see Nick just outside his house on the 5th of June, which happens to be the day of his 5th wedding anniversary with Amy. He drove to the bar and had beer. We then see on the other side Amy writing in her diary in the year 2005 when she met Nick at a bar. They both introduced themselves to each other and immediately clicked. They walked home and talked even in the elevator. Nick said, "Leaving in New York you have to come outside." He then told Amy that she needed to see something. He took her to some place where they make sugar and she has it on her lips. He offered to remove it but with a kiss and she agreed and they ended up in the apartment. Nick was going down on Amy when she said she really liked him and smiled. Nick was playing games with his sister in the bar when he got a call that lunch was ready, so he left. He got home and took the cat into the house and started searching for Amy but couldn't find her, only to see the center table shattered in the living room. He immediately called the police and they asked how long they have been living in Rutt House and he said fit 2 years, and it was because his mom, who is dead now, was sick, and now wife is nowhere to be found. He is nervous, so they offered to check around the house. As they were checking, they asked what he does now. He told them himself and his sister own the bar. We see in February 24, 2007, Amy writes that she is getting married. The night of her book lunch, Nick came and started to question Amy like the journalist he was. Unknown to Amy, he wanted to propose to her in front of his journalist friends. He said his friends told him she is not married, so why don't they fix that? And then the night got even better when Amy said yes to Nick and they kissed. Nick is at the police station for questioning and he was told that the case would be taken with seriousness as it happened in his house. They said they would post flyers, make awareness poster searches and even do a press conference. Nick was asked what Amy does during the day, and he said she mostly reads and she doesn't have any friends around but was very close to his late mom. Things started to feel awkward when the detective asked Nick a few questions about Amy, like what she does during the day, if she has friends or her blood group, and her husband. Nick said he doesn't know them. This made them wonder if they truly married. As he was making calls, he saw his daddy at the cell and was surprised to see him there, and he was told his dad left the Comfort Hill assisted living home. Nick asked that they let him take his dad back to the care home, so he drove his dad back home. It was July 5, 2009. We see Amy writing in her diary that everyone told them that marriage is hard work, but with them it was just good, because 2 years down the line they were still in love with each other and had sex everywhere and anywhere. And even gave each other gifts that are so cute. Just as the detective got to Nick's apartment, they met a pregnant lady outside the house, who said she was Amy's best friend, and this made the detective wonder why Nick said Amy doesn't have any friends. The detective got in and was told that the stain on the kitchen was blood and most of the asset they have from the car to the house, utilities and even the bar was in Amy's name, and the detective said this is so surprising. Just as they entered into the closet, they saw an envelope with the writing, "First clue." It is now the 6th of July, a whole day is gone and Amy is still nowhere to be found. They arranged a press conference and Amy's parents gave a speech that she is their only child and she is kind and bright and is amazing Amy, and they just want their daughter back. At the questioning room, Nick discovered that Amy has had a few relationships in the past where the guy was obsessed with Amy and killed himself in high school when she broke up with him, and Annie she dated 8 years ago and they had to file a restraining order on him, and all this was new to Nick. They finally got the second clues with the help of Nick with the first clue, and it says to meet at the barn house, but Nick said he doesn't know where that was, but later went to his dad's house where the third clue was, but he took it and hid it in his pocket before the police who was stalking him came and saw him. But the detective was skeptical because his dad's house looks like a barn house from the clue. It was July 18th in the year 2010 and we see Amy writing in her diary again. This time she wrote, "If you want check your marriage for spot, add 1 recession and subtract 2 jobs," she said, and it would surprisingly work. Nick does nothing but sit at home and play video games and spend too much, and Amy complains about that, but he says she can take care of her parents but nags whenever he gets something. But Amy tells him that he is making her do things she is not one to do, like nagging and controlling him because he is spending too much, and that she is his wife. Sir Nick apologized to Amy. However, we discovered that Nick was cheating on his wife. We see that it is the year 2011 on the 2nd, and she said her husband has become undone. She used the last of her trust fund to buy Nick the bar, and they have hit rock bottom, and so far it has just cost her money. Nick uses Amy for sex when he wants, otherwise Amy doesn't exist. Amy wanted a baby, but Nick keeps saying number. It was Valentine's Day on the 14th of February in 2012, and Amy thought to get a gun. That is how crazy she has become. Nick wants her gone, but he wouldn't ask for a divorce because in his mind Amy is the owner of his bar. It is 3 days gone and Amy is still nowhere to be found. It is the night of the Find Amy vigil when the pregnant woman came in front of everybody to tell Nick to tell everyone what he did to his 6 weeks pregnant wife. Everyone was shocked and Nick avoided the question and left the stage. When he got home, the detective came and asked if he knew Amy was pregnant before she went missing, but Nick said no, he wasn't aware. Finally, Nick has been able to trace the third clue, and it was a room filled with gifts. We see Amy on the same day she went missing driving in her car and saying she is happy dead, or rather missing, because she had carefully carried out all her plans. She brought in the pregnant woman so she can use her pee. She took her own blood to stage a crime scene. She wrote letters, created a debt and made him sign it unknowingly. She bought a getaway car and even faked the crime scene herself because she wanted to get back at her cheating husband, and if things goes as she plans, she wants the world to hate Nick for killing his beautiful pregnant wife. And Amy waited for her husband to go about his day on that fateful day before she did all she did and staged the crime scene all by herself without help. It has been over 13 days since Amy went missing, and Nick hired a lawyer to back him up. Just when Nick wanted to come out to say he was cheating on Amy, Andy made a press statement and said she was sorry for having an affair with Nick on public television, and this made it even worse for Nick. But regardless, he still made his appearance, and this made the people like him just a little bit. But things got out of hand when the police came and took Nick's sister to the station. Amy, on the other hand, got robbed of her money, and she had no choice than to call her ex. He took her to his paint house and said he wants her to be herself again after she had lied to him that Nick tried to kill her, so she ran away. Nick, on the other hand, knows she is not dead, but he doesn't know where to find her, and the police thinks he killed Amy. Even Amy's parents think so too. Nick was arrested but later released thanks to his lawyer. However, Amy has succeeded in killing her ex who helped her. After she killed her ex, she made her way back to Nick filled with blood, and the doctors think she was raped by her ex. Nick wanted a divorce but found out Amy was pregnant, and he had not choice than to dance along to Amy's tune because she is a psychopath and would do anything to get what she wants. Nick is not happy but now has a responsibility to take care of his unborn child and manage with his wife Amy.